On the surface, he looked like another young creator chasing internet fame. He wore designer-inspired outfits, performed exaggerated character skits, and delivered dramatic expressions that millions of viewers found entertaining. Online, he was known as Mr. Prada, a bold, theatrical persona that helped Tarian Ishmael Thomas build a massive following on TikTok. His videos were fast, expressive, and designed to stop the scroll. To fans, he was funny, stylish, and unapologetically confident. But in late 2024, that online persona collided with a real-world crime that shocked Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and captured national attention. A respected therapist was found dead. Surveillance footage placed the victim at Thomas's apartment. Within days, the rising social media personality was at the center of a murder investigation. For many who had watched his videos, one unsettling question emerged. How could someone performing for millions online be connected to such a violent crime? This is Murder Vault Chronicles. This is the story of Tarian Ishmael Thomas. Tarian Ishmael Thomas was born and raised in Baton Rouge, a city shaped by Southern culture, strong community ties, and deep religious traditions. He grew up in a working-class environment. Like many children of the digital generation, he matured during a time when social media increasingly shaped identity and self-expression. As a teenager, he showed an interest in performance and self-presentation. Friends and classmates described him as expressive and creative, someone who enjoyed being noticed and possessed a natural flair for drama. He stood out for his personality and his desire to entertain. In the age of smartphones and viral content, platforms like TikTok offered a stage far larger than any classroom or neighborhood audience. Thomas began creating short videos built around exaggerated characters, humor, and expressive storytelling. His content leaned into performance, sharp reactions, stylized poses, and emotionally charged skits that mirrored popular internet trends. The persona he created, Mr. Prada, projected confidence, attitude, and theatrical flair. His videos gained traction, and his follower count surged into the millions. With viral clips circulating across the platform, he became recognizable to a vast audience that consumed his content daily. To viewers scrolling through their feeds, he appeared charismatic and entertaining. But as with many online personas, the performance revealed only what the creator chose to show. Behind the digital fame, Thomas continued living in Baton Rouge, navigating the pressures that often accompany sudden internet recognition. Social media success can bring validation, but it can also create intense scrutiny, financial uncertainty, and emotional strain. For young creators, the line between online identity and real life can blur in complicated ways. In September 2024, events began unfolding that would ultimately place Thomas at the center of a homicide investigation. Dr. William Nicholas "Nick" Abraham, a 69-year-old therapist and former Catholic priest, was a well-known figure in the Baton Rouge community. Over the years, he had served both religious and mental health roles, offering counseling and guidance to individuals seeking support. His work made him a respected and recognizable presence in the region. When Dr. Abraham was reported missing, concern grew quickly. Days later, authorities discovered his body wrapped in a tarp along a roadside in Louisiana. Investigators determined he had died from blunt force trauma. The discovery shocked the community. A respected therapist was dead under violent circumstances, and investigators began retracing his final movements. Surveillance footage provided a critical lead. Cameras captured Dr. Abraham arriving at an apartment complex where Tarian Thomas lived. Investigators believe he entered Thomas's apartment shortly before his death. What happened inside that apartment remains central to the prosecution's case and will ultimately be determined through the legal process. Authorities allege the killing occurred inside the residence, citing evidence recovered at the scene, including blood and signs of violence. After the discovery of the body, investigators tracked the victim's vehicle, which was missing. Law enforcement later located the car in Texas. Thomas was arrested in Dallas after allegedly fleeing the state. Authorities say he was identified as the last known driver of Dr. Abraham's vehicle. Reports also indicate he attempted to evade police during the encounter, striking a patrol vehicle before being taken into custody. He was initially charged with second-degree murder. Prosecutors later upgraded the charge to first-degree murder, citing factors including the victim's age. Additional charges include obstruction of justice and unauthorized use of a vehicle. Despite the seriousness of the allegations, one element of the case remains unclear: the nature of the relationship between Thomas and Dr. Abraham. Authorities have not publicly confirmed whether the two knew each other personally, whether they met through professional channels, or what circumstances led to their meeting. This unanswered question has fueled speculation and intensified public interest. As news of the arrest spread, Thomas's social media presence became a focal point. With millions of followers and hundreds of millions of video likes, his online identity stood in stark contrast to the allegations. Viewers revisited his videos with a different perspective. Comment sections filled with shock, disbelief, and questions about the warning signs people might miss in the digital age. The case quickly gained traction online, not only because of the violence involved, but because it highlighted a cultural tension: the gap between curated digital personas and private realities. For many observers, the story felt like a collision between two worlds. On one side, a viral influencer performing for millions. On the other, a criminal investigation involving a respected mental health professional and a violent death. The Baton Rouge community struggled to process the tragedy. Dr. Abraham was remembered by colleagues and former parishioners as compassionate and dedicated. His death left a profound impact on those who had sought his guidance and care. Meanwhile, the arrest of a young social media figure intensified debates about internet fame, identity, and the pressures placed on a generation raised in public view. Today, Tarian Ishmael Thomas remains in custody as the legal process moves forward. Court proceedings will determine the facts, legal conclusions, and outcome of the case. Beyond the courtroom, the story continues to resonate because it raises unsettling questions. How well do we know the people behind the screens we watch every day? What unseen struggles exist beneath curated images and viral performances? And in an era where algorithms and attention can shape identity, how often do public personas conceal private realities? The death of Dr. Nick Abraham is a tragedy that extends beyond headlines and online debate. It is a story marked by loss, unanswered questions, and a community grappling with shock. For those who once scrolled past Mr. Prada videos without a second thought, the case now carries a haunting weight. It serves as a reminder that behind every viral persona is a human life, complex and often unseen. And sometimes the truth behind the performance is far darker than anyone imagined. This has been Murder Vault Chronicles. Please like and subscribe to the channel.